It's time to enter the big old purple castle of doom. Alright, so when you were kids, did you go to McDonald's a lot? I kind of look back on my childhood and I'm like, why did I go to McDonald's so much? I don't know why I'm thinking McDonald's right now. I looked at the castle, I saw it was purple, and it reminded me of Grimace. So yeah, you try to figure that connection out. Shoot! Oh man, I thought I was gonna die. But yeah, McDonald's isn't the healthiest place to be ever. And then I look back on my childhood and I'm like, you know, I went to McDonald's a lot. Like, way more than, like, a parent should be bringing their kids to McDonald's. It's kind of weird, though, because I was sort of in that generation where, I was sort of the last generation where McDonald's was okay. It was right when I was, growing up that McDonald's started becoming not okay. Like, that was when all the health initiatives came in. That's like... It was around the time I was a kid that they started introducing chocolate milk with the meals. Which I gave a try, actually. I was like, okay, I'll have the chocolate milk, and I just couldn't do it. I'm like, alright, bring on... I'd rather have Powerade. That's what's cool about McDonald's. They have Powerade. I still go there once in a while, but not nearly as much as I even used to, because, man, it's just not healthy. It's not. It's so bad for you. And I just look back and I'm like, I used to eat there all the time. I have so many toys from that place. That was how they got you with those kids, those toys, that's just bad. Oh my god, I can't believe that guy made it. Are you serious? I thought it was dead. Oh, I think there's, nope. I thought there was something on the ends. Ah. Yeah, but I haven't been to McDonald's except, you know, after movies. Me and my friends will be like, hey, let's go to McDonald's and chill and talk about the movie, because that's just the best place to do it. But I'll eat the fries. I like their fries, but you know, if you want the ultimate fast food, horrible disease food lineup, this is how you do it. You go to McDonald's and you order their fries, but then you go to Burger King and get their burgers. Their burgers are better, but their fries suck. McDonald's burgers suck because they're all squished and don't taste good, but their fries are good. I don't know. To me, they taste really good. If you want to get the perfect fast food combination for tacos, you go to Taco John's and you get the potato olays, and then you go to Taco Bell and you order those 2 Doritos Locos Tacos of any kind, and then you get a quesarito. The quesaritos are amazing. Oh wow, I died. This is what I get when I'm talking about quesaritos. Quesaritos are really good. But man, there's just another thing. Fast food's so unhealthy. Taco John's has disgusting tacos. So like every time I've gone there, I'm like, man, these tacos suck. And I always thought that Taco Bell's would suck too, but then I went there and I'm like, oh, these are actually good. It kind of makes sense that I'm pretty sure of all the fast food restaurants right now, I think they're doing kind of nearly the best. Oh boy. But yeah, it seems like mostly people keep away from fast food chains nowadays. Like they go to other chains, which not really fast food, but they're kind of got the same sort of strategic marketing goals. Like wow, I almost didn't get that. Like Starbucks. That's literally popular just because it's the coffee place, and that's it. Like, there's nothing special about Starbucks. There's nothing really. It's just coffee. I don't get why people buy their gourmet coffee. It's like, I don't even drink coffee. And I always thought, oh, maybe that's why I wasn't so productive. But then I just started being more productive. I think it's just all in the mind. Some people just start relying on coffee, though. Like my dad, for instance. I was like, if I just never drink coffee, will I ever need it, you think? He's like, no, it's all in the mind. People get so used to it that they get addicted to it, and then they have to have it to start their day. And I figured, you know, it'd be a good way to save money, not drinking coffee. We'll see what ends up happening in my future, if that really saves me the millions I'm hoping to get. I'm going to be a millionaire. I plan on it. I'm kind of like my mom. My mom always talks like that. She's like, yeah, I've wanted to be a millionaire for years, and it's going to happen. It probably will. They're funny. They set these goals and then they achieve them. So my parents are really cool to look up to. $1 million is really a lot. Maybe if my parents make $1 million, I can get a small loan of $1 million from them to start my own business, then eventually run for president on the platform that everyone but me is horrible and we can't trust them. But that's a story for another time. I think we should talk about fast food again. What was the coolest McDonald's toys that you ever saw? There was that Inspector Gadget toy where each package had a different piece of his body. It's morbid. It's really morbid actually when I describe it like that. But it's cool. I really like that toy. And then they had you know, of course the Beanie Babies, which are always fun. Furbies, which are always fun. The Legos, the Bionicles, Hot Wheels. I mean, but those are all based on other toys. How about like movie tie-ins? I'm trying to remember some weird movie tie-ins that they did. Like the coolest ones they ever did actually were well, one, they did a bunch of Disney toys where they were in the actual VHS clamshells. They were toys that were in the clamshells. Those were awesome. And then for the 100th, I think it was Walt Disney's 100th birthday. I think that was in 2001. They did a toy promotion where I think there was 100 different toys, and they were based on all the movies. Disney sometimes kind of forgets to reference certain Disney movies because they weren't popular. Like, you'll never see a toy based on Oliver and Company or The Black Cauldron. But I think with that toy promotion, they actually did make toys for them. Like, they reference literally everything. Everything but Song of the South, because, you know, racist. Song of the South is a movie I really do want to see someday. I wonder when I'll ever get to watching it. I want to see if it's really as racist as everyone says. It probably is. I mean, like, okay, but people have this discussion, like, you know, if movies are racist, should we ban them, or what if they have, like, you know, like, creative merit? What if they have great filmmaking techniques, but they were just a product of the time? I don't know. Song of the South, I feel like, is a product of the time where the racism wasn't so blatant back then to even the most left-thinking person. But something like Birth of a Nation, that movie is actually racist, I think, even during that time. Like, if you watch it during that time, it's like, I think it would tick off even people who aren't of color. I think they'd watch it and be like, wow, whoa, you can't do that. I did watch Birth of a Nation for a class, and I was getting prepared for how racist it was. Honestly, the first part one, there's I think the movie, it has 2 parts or 3 parts. I think it's 2 parts. But it's easy to tell you what it's about, because the first half that takes place from the beginning of the movie until Abraham Lincoln shows up and gets shot, and there's a scene in the movie where they show how he gets murdered. There's like a recreation of it, which it's not accurately done. It's sort of accurately done. The best, if you want the most accurate portrayal of Lincoln's death, watch National Treasure 2, because I've even gone to where did he die? The theater, whatever. Now I don't know the name of the theater, but whatever theater it was in Washington, D.C. If you go there, there was this older guy who just knew everything about the death, and he said that, you know, he was talking about it, and every single detail he said. I saw this before the movie came out, because then I think it was the fall after that, we went and saw the movie, and it was like everything the guy said. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is exactly like what that guy was telling us. This is like a complete, perfect recreation. Everything in that movie was done right. That's a good movie, too. I like those National Treasure movies. But Birth of a Nation has that death scene, too. And up until that part, the movie, I mean, it's kind of racist, but it's sort of like I mean, it's like an of-the-time thing. And I think there's not enough. It's basically the Civil War from the South's perspective. And, you know, honestly, there's no movies about that, because from now on, everyone in the South is going to be always portrayed as the villain, which, you know, makes sense. But obviously there were were there people who fought for the South who didn't believe in slavery? I mean, it might be possible. I don't know how many, though. I don't think it's large enough for us to actually make some kind of factual basis of a movie for, like, yeah, these are the people who fought for the South who didn't believe in slavery. Besides, I guess the Civil War really wasn't about slavery anyway. I mean, not nearly 100%, but it was a contributing factor. But anyway, Birth of a Nation, if you watch that movie, just part one, it has all the cinematic techniques that it's it was renowned for. Like, it created several different things like parallel editing, tracking shots, and just close-ups. It was a movie that kind of developed all of those shots. D.W. Griffith was sort of the man who went beyond the idea of, hey, instead of just showing everything from a distance like a stage, we can actually move this camera around. I mean, I'm sure he wasn't the first director, but he was the one who did make it famous, and that's why Birth of a Nation is so well known up to this point. But I would say that up until after Lincoln's death, the movie is actually all right to watch. Because, people are like, that movie should be banned. I'm like, well, don't ban part one, because part one's actually a pretty good movie. It's part two that gets really offensive, and it's talking about really ridiculous things. Like, they basically created this idea that all black people were gonna run for the Senate, and then black people were gonna control the vote. Like, they weren't gonna let white people vote, and then they voted in all these black people into the Senate. Which, I mean, whatever, but then, like, they're, like, really stereotypical, like, kicking their feet up on the table, eating chicken. Like, I'm not even kidding. That's how this movie is. Everyone in the class's mouths just dropped. Like, what is this? That's where the movie gets offensive. So, I mean, if you're one of those want to be a completionist for, like, films, I would get up to, for Birth of a Nation, I'd just watch part one. And then just stop watching, because after that it just gets offensive. I mean, unless you're into offensive stuff. I mean, I'm gonna watch anything. But yeah, it's offensive. It's really bad. It's not okay. If they decided to like ban part two forever, well, if they decide to ban the whole movie forever, I wouldn't argue. I'd be like, yeah, it's probably not a good movie. It's not like a popular movie either, though. It's not like apparently, like, it was the reason the Ku Klux Klan made its comeback, and like apparently they still show it at meetings for inductions for the KKK. Like, it's a recruitment video, but I kind of doubt that. I feel like it's not a movie that anyone would really want to watch anyway, because it's sort of slow and it's an older movie. But maybe it's true. I don't know. I've never gone to a KKK induction. I started this video talking about McDonald's, and now I'm talking about the KKK. Alright, I'm gonna stop right here. Next time, we're gonna keep playing this level.